Hello, this is the final product of my husband's Rolodex book. I'll take these loose pieces off. This is a folded book Rolodex. He chose an encyclopedia, so it's huge. Where we left off was where I was trying to decide how I was going to secure the side pieces. Um, I did make sure my flaps were long. So this is a piece of chipboard that I traced out and made sure it had room for flaps when I traced it on the chipboard. And the chipboard is secured by double-sided tape on the inside of the front cover and back cover. And I also put a brace piece underneath this folded page, so it also helps uh, the side pieces stay in place here. Hindsight, especially with a book this large, I would do a brace piece um, under the folded page, the first or second page, um, about this long, uh, about 2 inches longer than the book, and then I would be able to attach that when it's time to um, put the side pieces on. So I would do a brace at the front and at the back underneath one of the pages. I also glued down the first page over the chipboard so that it could help the um, chipboard stay in place. Again, this is 584 pages. I recommend about 350 is the perfect book. But yeah, so this one is huge. The other thing that I had to compensate for with this book being so large is these calendar pages that I made are normally 2.5 inches. I moved it up to 3.25. I did keep it just 8 inches, so it still has plenty of room to be stuck in the book. This is um, these pages were made on Excel and took some tinkering around to get it to be able to do all the calendar years uh, and get them to print so that I could cut them out without it being dramatic. So let me just go ahead and walk through what else I did here. Uh, we were talking about the side piece. This is a cardstock that's embossed. It was cream. I painted it black and then metallic paint. This is actually a piece of leather strip, which when you look at it from a distance, it makes this piece look like leather because the edge of the paper is has that leather raw look on it. These are just brads and they're loose. You can stick them wherever you want, um, and it could have a note in it. This is intended to be a um, calendar help, so he can write appointments or information on. I know a lot of people are digital fans, and that's cool too. But when you have a desk, when you're sitting at a desk all day, visual things are helpful as well. So he can take out January and sit it on these little brass that I pulled out a little bit so it could act like a shelf. Uh, he can also um, use these little dangles that I did. They're on paper clips. He can paper clip a note in there and stick it, and then in any page, and then he'll know where that note is because of the dangle that it's attached to. And so you got that. And then a lot of little just random things to add interest. These can act like shelves. This is an ASAP paper clip. I like that one. But anyway, he can stick it wherever he wants, and then he can add a note and stick it on there. Or if he writes a note that's ASAP, um, he knows that it's right there. So he remembers that's something he needs to finish that day. Quite honestly, I think he's just going to adore it because he likes my artwork, and but at this, I don't see him actually using it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I use mine, and they were made to be used. Even this is a weekly reminder. It's like, oh, okay, I got to do that on Thursday. And just tuck that in Thursday like that. Okay, and so also created this little notepad. It was actually longer, and I trimmed it down so that it would fit this. And then I inked the side of the pages so they weren't stark white, and covered that with cardstock. I also did the same with a post-it pad, yellow post-it pad, and I attached the post-it pad to a piece of chipboard so that it acts as a stand, and did some aging ink on the side as well. The back, let's see here. The back are pieces that were die cut out and glued on, just to create interest without a lot of color contrast. I like that. It was really hard for me to keep it as simple as possible since it is for a male, and didn't want to make it too busy, but still create interest. I love the way the paper clips look sticking out, and decided on just a few of these instead of a whole bunch. I had made a whole bunch of these. This is a printout, a digital printout. I'll try to put that in the comments. This is a physical 12 by 12 paper pack from Seven Gypsies. And that's about it for this one. I think pretty sure this will be my last video on altered or folded book Rolodex. I think I've shared all my knowledge on this. So I hope you guys enjoy and take care.